Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name is Bilal Abdul Kareem for OGN. Today, we're going to discuss the intense clashes which have been taking place between Kurdish militia forces in the northeastern part of the country and the Syrian government troops in a place called Deir Hafez. Let's get started here. First, let's take a look at the map so you can understand the different colors. These are the Kurdish militia forces. In the areas that they control in yellow. In green is the Syrian government controlled areas. And to the south, you've got Suwayda and you've got the Israeli controlled areas. Now, that's going to play a role. We're going to talk about that in a second. First of all, the clashes which took place happened at a flashpoint at a place called Deir Hafez. Now, both sides, we're talking about the Syrian government side and the Kurdish militia forces, have been sending reinforcements to this area. So we have to keep our eyes on it. There were intense clashes throughout the night. They've since stopped, but they could re-erupt at any time. Now, Thomas Barak, who is the envoy to Syria, Donald Trump appointed him and sent him to discuss the issues with Mazloum Abdi, who is the commander of the Kurdish militia forces here in the northeastern part of the country. So that's got to give you an indication that the U.S. doesn't want things to spiral out of control between the two parties. But it's also important because it's right near the Tashreen Dam. The Tashreen Dam is a very important asset. Well, why? The first issue is that it's the only stable, there are other crossings, but the only stable crossing between the eastern part of the country and the western part of the country. So sometimes whenever there are problems, sometimes the Tashreen Dam comes under threat. It's very strategic also because it's a hydroelectric dam. It produces electricity for this area up here, for Raqqa, for Aleppo countryside and other places. So whoever controls the Tashreen Dam controls water resources, electricity, and crossing. So it's huge. So the fact that the clashes happened near Deir Hafez and Thomas Barak all of a sudden shows up has got to show you that there's a lot going on here in this area. But we did say we're also going to talk about the southern part of the country, and that means the Israelis. The Israelis have expressed solidarity with minority groups here in Syria. Firstly, the Druze community, where they are backing Hikmet al-Hajri in Suwayda. That's their guy. In southern Syria. So you can really say that Suwayda is under Tel Aviv control, which it is primarily. Now, the Israelis have also expressed solidarity with the Kurdish militia forces as well. They would be very, very interested in having some financial and military support from the Israelis. So we have to watch this because we can't forget that the Israelis are very interested in having a land corridor that would go straight to these areas in the northeast by the Kurdish militia forces. We also have to keep in mind that in March of this year, there was an agreement which was signed between Ahmed al-Shara and Mazloum Abdi, which would see the lucrative oil fields in the Kurdish-controlled areas come under the control of Ahmed al-Shara's government, the state. In addition to that, the troops under SDF, the SDF banner, would be integrated into the military forces under the control of Ahmed al-Shara. Up until now, none of that has happened, and the Tashreen Dam the ultra-important Tashreen Dam in the northeastern part of the country, that too would come under the control of Ahmed al-Shara. But up until now, that hasn't happened. We're going to have to follow this thing up. My name is Bilal Abdul Kareem. Jazakumullah khair. Assalamu alaikum.